Hey guys, Mike here. Welcome to my channel. So some of the questions that I've gotten in the videos that I've made in the past is, how do I pay? If I wanted to get a pilot's license today, how do I pay for it? Now, as you know, aviation is not the cheapest hobby. If you use it as a hobby or a career, it's expensive. To get a pilot's license is expensive, and not just so to get a pilot's license, but to maintain flying. If you're going to fly, say the average pilot flies maybe 100 hours a year, it's gonna come at a cost. So how do I afford this? Now, in my other videos, I've given some options. You can always apply for scholarships. You can join a pilot's program where you pay less per hour for your rental fees and things like that. So there are ways that you can get to fly for less money. But today I'm gonna talk about two ways you can actually fly for free. Okay, so the first option, and both of these options have to do with a flight school. So you have to find a flight school that's willing to trade with you. All right, so the first way to fly for free, actually I'm gonna talk about three ways. So the first way to fly for free is you can always trade your time at a school. So this is an example. If you were, say you wanted to get your private pilot license, you can go to a school and tell them you will offer to work for free, meaning you can either be at a desk, you can sort of be the pilot manager, help manage the schedule, help manage the student stuff, help the student out, just be the front desk person, or you can help with paperwork, or you can help with cleaning the damn place. You can always help sweeping the floors, you can help with the dispatcher, whatever it is. There's so many things that can be done at a flight school. And you can go to a flight school and tell them, I'll put in time in exchange to get some lessons and to fly. Okay, that's one way, and I know people who have gone this route. Basically, you trade your time to work for the school, and you get to fly for free. Okay, so that's the first option. The second option, and this option can be used, this is as a student pilot. Say you're just learning, or you're just starting to get either your sports pilot license or your private pilot license. Number one option, I think, is a great way to go. Number two, which is also similar, this is post certification. So assuming you've gone through your training, you have your pilot certificate, you can still go back to the same school or any other school and ask them to work there. Now, for example, when I lived in California, I knew 2 to 3 people who used this method to fly for free. I was envious at the fact that they get to fly for free and I'm paying all this fees to rent an airplane. And this is how it works. So assuming you have and flight schools hire people with this all the time. Assuming you have your private pilot certification, you can get a job at a flight school, again, for different responsibilities. And one of the cool things about it is flight schools always have maintenance work, for example, or they have their plane stranded somewhere, or they need packages or equipment of the plane to be delivered from one place to another. Guess who they're gonna send? You, because you have your private pilot certification. So if a plane is stranded, say a plane is at a mechanic at another airport, they just send you, hey, go grab that plane for me. Or you need to go collect some equipment or tools that the airplane needs to be fixed, or whatever happens, they can literally send you to fly the airplane and go get stuff done. Guess what? You're building time and it's free. You don't have to pay any rental fees to do this. And again, the people that I know who are doing this or who did this back when I was in California, they were flying on average 3-4 times a week. If you were to calculate that, say 3-4 times, and sometimes it's over an hour, 2 hours, so let's assume it's an hour. So assuming this guy flies 3 times a week, and the airplane rents for $150. That's $450 that he would have been paying, he or she would have been paying if they were to rent the airplane out of pocket. But because they're offering their service to the school, again, you technically cannot get paid to fly because you don't have a commercial license. But in this situation, you're not getting paid to fly. You just work for the school and you're flying for free. So you're saving literally $450 to $500 a week. For someone who doesn't work for the school, that's how much they would have to pay to get the same time in the cockpit. All right, so think about that. Once you get your certification, if you want to build time for free, get a job at a flight school. All right, that's number 2. Now, option number 3. Option number 3 is a little more expensive initially. So I know of a method where you buy an airplane, okay? You can buy an affordable airplane, say something for $30,000 or $50,000. All right, you can either lease it or finance it, whatever have you, and you do what is called a leaseback option. All right, with a leaseback, the way it works is if you own an airplane, you can always lease your airplane to a school, a flight school that needs that particular airplane and that can get enough traffic. So assuming, for example, it's basically arbitrage in a way. So assuming, for example, you bought a $30,000 airplane, and say we'll go to routes here. So say the first route, you're financing this airplane. So say your costs, when you know your financing costs, gas, maintenance, all that comes up to about $1,500 a month. All right, for this airplane. You can lease the airplane or lease the airplane to a school, and depending on how much traffic that school is getting, you can go on forums and ask other pilots about this, and you can find out more information about it. So assuming the school gets a lot of traffic, your plane is being rented a lot, that offsets the cost for you. So on average, say you were getting $2,000 a month from rental fees from the school, boom, your cost goes away. Hell, you're also making $500 a month owning the airplane for free and flying it for free. All right, but there's a downside to that. Obviously, if you go that route, first, the costs, all right, it's a heavy cost in the beginning, and 2, you know, your airplane, if it's used for flight training, it's gonna be banged up a lot. You know, students are gonna crash land it. They're gonna, you know, basically you're renting your airplanes to amateurs. All right, so that could affect the lifespan or the maintenance cost of that particular airplane. So that's the main downside to it. All right, so but it's an option. You can always do that and own and fly your airplane for free. All right, so those are the 3 options you have if you are serious about flying or getting your certification. Again, first, all options have to do with having some type of relationship with a flight school. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something today. If you have any questions for me, be sure to leave in the comments. I will try to get this video up before the end of the week. Thank you so much for watching. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.